Hello and welcome. I'm Eric Gao, and here's what happened this week. President Lai Ching-te is increasing pay for career soldiers. That announcement came during a visit to one of Taipei's most important air bases, and as Taiwan wrapped up 5 days of military drills. Jaime Ocon was there.
For the past 5 days, Taiwan's military has been conducting a new kind of exercise in which it tests how quickly its armed forces can mobilize against an attack from China. Those drills come to an end with a final inspection from President Lai Ching-te on how Marines would protect Songshan Air Force Base, which sits here in the capital city of Taipei.
This group of soldiers is known as the 66th Brigade, and they were recently deployed to defend Songshan Airport, which not only operates as a civilian airfield, but also as a military base. This week's nationwide rapid response drills were the first of its kind, as President Lai Ching-te signals more investments into military reform and strategy. That includes plans to increase salaries for career soldiers.
我要强调，调整国军待遇是一个长期的进程，要经过严谨的讨论，绝不是漫天喊价。我也希望在野党重新思考 动山国防预算的影响，给予国军官士兵最大的支持。
On top of the pay raise, Taiwan has also been leaning more towards a robust asymmetric defense strategy, which means using smaller, more lethal weapons that can be moved around easily. Weapons like the US-made Stinger and Javelin, and Taiwan's domestically made Kestrel rocket launcher. The hope is that using these weapons in combination with more realistic training will help Taiwan stand up to aggression from neighboring China. Across Taiwan, various units are now returning home and preparing for the next large-scale military drill, which is set for July.
Officials here say they plan to conduct these rapid response exercises at least twice a year, with the goal of getting better at protecting Taiwan and responding more quickly and effectively from threats from China. Chris Ma and Jaime Ocon in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Vacancies on the Supreme Court bench could soon be filled as President Lai draws up a fresh list of nominees. Lawmakers blocked Lai's last 7 nominees, but his administration remains hopeful about its latest list. This time, prosecutor Tsai Chou-ming is nominated for Chief Justice. The list includes 2 sitting judges, 2 prosecutors, and 3 academics. In an increasingly uncertain world, like-minded democracies must stick together. That's the message coming from the Yushan Forum, an annual meeting of global figures. Rick Lau reports.
This is the Yushan Forum, a meeting of global dignitaries here in Taipei, hosted by Taiwan's Foreign Ministry. Now in its 8th year, the annual 2-day meeting looks to build bridges across the Indo-Pacific, raise Taiwan's voice in the region, and lessen economic reliance on China. President Lai Ching-te says this push should now include like-minded countries further afield. This year, a number of important figures from Europe attended, warning of new geopolitical uncertainties under US President Donald Trump.
Since January, the relationship has become increasingly transactional. President Trump sees the world in terms of 3 power centers: Washington, Beijing, and Moscow. We need to ask what that means for countries like Taiwan.
Taiwan uses this forum to push its soft power and foster people-to-people connections, highlighting its position as a high-tech hub that can use semiconductors, artificial intelligence and quantum technology for good.
Taiwan is intent on working side by side with other countries to face the challenges of this new era. Today's Taiwan celebrates not only the democratic achievements that are recognized by the international community, but also our strength in the semiconductor and tech industries, which enable us to play a key role in restructuring global democratic supply chains and the economic order.
Taiwan faces an uphill battle in engaging in important diplomacy like this. China, which claims Taiwan as part of its territory, hits out at other countries for engaging with Taiwan diplomatically. But the messages from this forum are clear, that the world order is in flux, authoritarian leaders are emboldened, and like-minded countries must stick together. Klein Wang and Rick Lowett in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Get ready to pay more for power. Taiwan's economy minister says electricity will likely get more expensive. J.W. Guo was responding to lawmakers who were grilling him about the profitability of state-run firm Taipower, the country's sole electricity supplier. Taipower has reported billions in losses. It also lost its government subsidies, part of a slash to the general budget. The CEO of electronics firm Pegatron recently suggested that keeping nuclear power could save Taipower money, as Taiwan looks to shutter its last remaining reactor this year. And Guo did not rule out that idea.
如果这个大院通过这个核管法修改过了以后，我们会遵照这个大院的这个通过的这个部分来进行。它的运转是不是让我们台电可以赚钱？我想我们这个还要再评估一下。
Guo says that while electricity prices must rise, it will be at a lower rate than regional neighbors like South Korea. A new internet cable connecting Taiwan to the U.S. and the Philippines has reached Taiwan's east coast. The undersea cable is more than 13,000 kilometers long, stretching from California to Guam to Taiwan's Dawu and Taidong and to the Philippines. It should go online in May. Taiwan is set to have 16 international cables by the end of the year. Almost all its internet connections come from these cables, currently relying on 14 international lines, and some cables have been damaged multiple times by Chinese-linked ships, cutting off communications and raising concerns about Taiwan's security.
你有多一些的海缆被建立起来了之后呢，那你相对来讲，你要被完全孤立的几率也就会变比较小，让我们的韧性提升的一个方式。
Taiwan is also exploring other backup communications like satellites and microwave systems. Taiwan's annual military marathon has sparked controversy this year after people noticed the race's trophy design featured a surprising item. Chelsea Wu has the story.
And they're off. Taiwan's Three Schools Marathon, the only foot race that takes place inside military areas, is underway in Kaohsiung, but it hasn't gone off without a hitch. Controversy erupted online when several people noticed something wrong with the trophy, which features a rifle, strikingly similar to one used by China's People's Liberation Army.
一开始我以为是6步枪啊，当兵是拿这一种做奖牌的单位，可能自己没有注意啦，因为看到台湾很多奖牌都从大陆那边去制造。
This year's marathon attracted 2,500 participants, many of them former or retired service members. And while many were surprised about the trophy's design, some also said they hadn't immediately caught the difference after years away from the military. The marathon was organized by the Fengshan Jogging Association and the office of Xu Zijie, a lawmaker from the ruling Democratic Progressive Party. Several politicians attended, and it had the official support of Taiwan's Defense Ministry and the Army Command Headquarters. Yet, no one seems to have noticed the issue with the trophy's design.
因为你是要颁给人家的，你要细看，而不是说你大约这样乱过去就好。
The organizers have apologized, promising to replace the trophies and to pay more attention in the future.
承办单位疏失，使用非我国军枪支制作奖杯，我已要求立即回收，造成相关单位及民众困扰，向大家道歉。
The marathon offers a chance for many of the runners to relive their time in the military. But the mistake, from an event meant to celebrate Taiwan's military and national identity, has left some feeling confused and embarrassed. Scott Huang and Chelsea Wu for TaiwanPlus.
Frogs are becoming a popular choice of pet in Taiwan, but most of them aren't taken from the wild. One farm in southern Taiwan is working to change that by breeding them instead. TaiwanPlus takes you behind the scenes for a closer look.
哇，好冰哦！对，它现在不会挣扎，是因为我们手套都湿湿的。它们是外温动物，有时候我们手温太高，它也会觉得不舒服。
Elementary school students are getting hands-on at a farm as part of their biodiversity class. Today, they're learning all about frogs. This farm in Pingtung, southern Taiwan, is called Full of Frogs. It's the only legally registered frog breeding farm in the entire country.
摸起来背上会有点凸凸的，像我们的苦瓜一样。入侵蛙就是可能对我们的环境有伤害，那外来种呢，可能是没有伤害，但是是从外地来的。
This farm raises over 100,000 frogs of more than 20 species every year. 80% are exported, mainly to North America and Europe, to be sold as pets or for display, making the farm $1 million a year in revenue. Their horned frogs make up to 70% of the US market, meaning 7 out of 10 horned frogs in the US come from this one Taiwanese facility. Before being shipped abroad, the frogs are checked to make sure they are in good condition and then carefully packaged.
耗损率大概是落在1%左右，也就是100只里面会有1%，那甚至可能会没有。我们公司是要追求没有。
From tadpoles to the frogs ready to spawn, the farm takes painstaking care in every stage, including cleaning, feeding, water quality, and temperature control. It's the only farm in the country that meets aquatic animal welfare standards. Founder Damon Chen, an aquatic veterinarian, started the farm in 2018 out of his love for frogs and the awareness of how important they are to the ecosystem. While selling live animals may seem to go against conservation, the exotic frog trade is different, as most pet frogs are taken from the wild. One of Chen's goals is to stop illegal wild frog collection by breeding them in a controlled environment.
如果我们取代源头的供应商，取代最原本供应链的第一个前端的话，我们利用更好的品质、更棒的动物福利，甚至是更低的价格去跟这些盗采盗猎的猎人去竞争，是否我们有机会去取代它？
Chen's bold ideas and breeding methods have proven successful. He and his team have changed the fate of 2 frog species, including the Suriname horned frog and the Indonesian white tree frog, both of which have stopped being poached in the wild. In addition to his innovative model, another strategy has also helped Chen lead his farm to success.
观赏动物和观赏鱼长期仰赖中国大陆市场，那我认为我做最对的事情是我们在最一开始就摒除中国大陆市场不做，而去选择大家认为没有办法经营和没有办法打入的欧美市场。我们现在订单是接不完，然后供不应求的状态。对，但我们没有一单是出给中国大陆，我们不做那边的市场。3不5时会因为要选举，两岸航运就断掉了，或是一些演习，我们航运就没有办法过去。
Chen dreams big. He looks to the world and aims to change the fate of 1% of all frog species in the international pet market, or about 40 kinds. Thanks to Taiwan's regulations, native frogs aren't sold internationally. But Chen works to conserve Taiwan's species by partnering with research institutions to create conservation models. To raise awareness about frogs, Chen and one of his team members opened the first exotic pet store in Pingdong last year.
所以其实这几年随着特宠的风气越来越盛行，其实不管是政府单位啊、法律相关的规范都已经更加严谨，再加上更多用心的业者在致力于推广跟宣导客人一些正确的观念，所以其实我觉得大家都有同一个目标，所以我觉得这个状况我觉得环境会越来越好。
There is still a long way to go in frog conservation, but frog enthusiasts in Taiwan are showing that environmental protection and successful business can go hand in hand. Devon Tai, P.T. Zhuang, and Sanny Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for joining us for Here's What Happened. Find all these stories and more on the TaiwanPlus website. Finally, we bring you to this event in Paris, celebrating 75 years of the U.S. comic strip Peanuts and its beloved character, Snoopy. I'm Eric Gao, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.